Hey everybody, hope you guys doing alright. So yeah, you can see that. So this is an idea that came to me through just intuitional means. Sorry, I want to make an idea for a ship for Jennifer Aniston. So here it is. This one's specifically designed for her, so it's not to be used by anybody without her specific consent or permission. Kind of the same thing. But anyway, all right, here we go. So it's one, two, three, four, and then you got the surface deck. So essentially 5 decks. Is how many decks is involved in the ship? The bottom one here would be where this would all be essentially could be theoretically a giant filter for the water because it'll be underneath the water line. Yeah, just about all the time, as well as it also being a ballast tank. Ballast tanks are tanks that can be filled up with water to lower the ship deeper into the water, so it makes it easier for unloading and loading of cargo. It's also what submarines use to submerge. And I'm also working on an idea to potentially turn this into not just a sailing ship, but also a submarine and also perhaps a boat. So there's a possibility that this could all be filled up and it would give it enough weight to give it the ability to dive and be a submarine, essentially, as long as everything's able to be sealed up and all that good stuff. So, all right, moving on here. Then you got the propeller down here at the bottom, obviously. And then right above the ballast tank, this can also be, I like to make things as interchangeable as possible. So I'd like to make this as also to be interchangeable if it wants to be used for storage or any other type of means. And another thing about this area too is I wanted to, in case the boat or the vessel were to get to run aground or get damaged or stuck or anything like that, I'd like the bottom to be able to be detached, perhaps with explosive devices, perhaps, or probably better to have like some type of magnetic button or a lock mechanism that would allow the bottom here to be let go and the ship free. And then of course you would lose the propeller, but with the sail and the windmills and the other thrusters and other additional ways of power, there's would hopefully be still an ability to be maneuvered, but at least you wouldn't be stuck, so that's good. And again, you don't have to do it if you don't want to, but if you were in a situation where you need to get out, I'd like to make that possible, or the ship was damaged or taken on water, or it was just a situation where you needed to do it. Even if you wanted it to be just lighter, for that particular mission, if that were the case, be able to do so is something I'd like to do. But all right, moving on here. And then right down here, okay, so these tubes, I'll just talk about this real quick. Each side of the boat's going to have stairwells, and they're spiral stairwells, kind of like you see in houses and in boats and stuff like that, to help conserve for space. And in the middle of the stairwells, on the top half right up here, I'm going to have vertical farm growing system. And so then on the side walls, on the side walls of inside the stairwell, there'd be LED grow lights that would constantly be, or I don't know constantly, but on a timer to give, the vertical farm growing system right here, the light that it needs to grow. But the thing about this, I also like this because it will be able to be, as long as the ship is outside of, on top of the ocean and outside, it could be elevated with an elevator and hydraulics and stuff like that up into the surface, and it could get some fresh air and be out in the sun and get some good old fashioned sun rays instead of just the old fashioned, or instead of not the old fashioned, but instead of the electronic lights. Okay, so you can have that, and then I got the windmills right up here, and I'd like to make both of these windmills, or as many windmills as I can make, collapsible, and so that they could easily be broken down and collapsed into the vessel or the hull of the ship, and that would allow for just to keep the aerodynamics of the ship as good as possible. And then on the top half here with the surface, or wait, no, let's go to the next deck. So yeah, and then, oh wait, I'm sorry. So the vertical farm growing systems are right here, and then you're also going to need water for the vertical farm growing system. So right underneath the vertical farm growing system tube in the middle, I designed to have water tanks, and so you'd have these tubes would essentially just be water tanks that would hold fresh water, and through the filtration devices here at the bottom and elsewhere throughout the ship, you could also potentially filter out the salt from the ocean and all the other pollutants and stuff that's in the ocean, and put them into your freshwater tanks as needs to be. And you could also transfer some of these storage units down here for more water if that's what you wanted to do. So all right, then right here in the middle, sorry, I didn't even talk about this. So this is all interchangeable also, it can be changed, But essentially, to help condense for space, I want to make each one of these decks much larger than normal. So I don't know what a normal ship deck is, but I want this to be at least a couple feet taller. As long as that's okay. I'm not sure if that's would be an issue with buoyancy or anything like that, but as long as it's not an issue, then I'd like to do that. And then so then you'd walk in here from the stairwell, and you'd have a little space, and you'd have a door that would go into another chambers, but you also have you'd also have a ladder that goes up here, and then on top of this little inside of this compartment, inside of the compartment, you would have bunks for passengers to stay to help conserve for space. And then you could, that's just where you'd go to sleep, essentially. If you wanted some private time or something like that. Just a very, very, very small room, just a bunk, essentially. And then you could climb on down, and then in here you'd have, you could have a kitchen, entertainment area, multi-purpose room, theater. And then on the, these would each be rooms that you could walk back and forth through doors and stuff like that. And then over here we'd have like a toys or storage area or surplus area. Also, the ship's armory. Just tools, equipment, stuff like that could be over here in the third section, or whichever way works best. And then, of course, you could exit out this way and go up this stairwell, and then that would lead you up to the, I guess the deck right below the surface level, which would be the master suite. So yes, this would be, essentially how I'm designing it would be where Jennifer Aniston and her crew and the people that she wants to be closest around her would be staying on the top floor, and she could have her own private, or yeah, it's for her. So yeah, if that's what she wants, I designed it so she have her own private elevator or stairwell right up to the middle and the top of the ship, which would be the command center, the captain's center, where they command the ship. And you could also get a good view of the ocean and all that good stuff too, and your own private access. You wouldn't have, if you wanted to just go up there and not have to deal with seeing other people, if that's perhaps the mood that you were in, you could do so. So yeah. And then, as far as whatever she would want, you could essentially make the whole deck yours, or you could section it off and do other things for it. You might want to give your crew, and that would be a space designated for them, the whole deck. And the whole bottom would be for the passengers and this and that, unless, she wants to change or whatever. And then, this would be for essentially just storage. And then this would also, like I said, the water, and then, is that another filters? I'm not sure. But anyway, and then the giant filter down here, but also could be a storage. You got the propeller. And then, of course, all these are going to indicate Hemp solar panels, which will be constantly charging as long as there's sun out. And then behind it all, you can see right here, I kind of ran out of room, but there is, it is designed to still also be a sailboat. So we'll also have a giant sail. And I also want to have cranes on each side, at least, one on each side, if not more, to help allow for us to be able to put, mini subs and mini boats into the water, lifeboats into the water, and also to help transport and take off on and off cargo, like heavy cargo and stuff like that. So this is just the back view. This is essentially just looking at the ship from the back end of it. So I still need to draw a whole side view and get into the depth of the deck and how that'll all look, and then also get down to the dynamics of the powering and the cords and the coils and the dimensions and all that type of stuff. But anyways, I just want to share this with you all, and you guys, I hope you all have a good day. All right. Love you guys. Bye.